Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into another edition of Keytown Sports. It's Keytown coming back to talk about the Wednesday night NBA slate of games. The very first game I'm going to talk about is the Boston Celtics and the Orlando Magic. Magic get a well needed win. Now they are 40 and 40. They are 500. They are at the 500 mark with only two games remaining. Now, and the Celtics. Well, we already know the Celtics. They're 59 and 21. They are at the second spot in the NBA, and the Orlando Magic are at the seventh spot. So everybody from the teams in the Eastern Conference from 1 to 10, they have clinched a playoff spot or a play-in tournament spot. So everything right there, that is complete. So now let me get back to the game. Last night for the Boston Celtics, Baylor Shearman, 15 points. Torrey Craig, 0 points. Sam Hauser, 10 points. Luke Cornett, 14 points. Peyton Pritchard, 15 points. The bench production for the Boston Celtics: Xavier Tillman, 2 points. Miles Norris, 6 points. Drew Peterson, 3 points. Namas Quetta, 11 points. J.D. Davidson, 0 points. Jordan Walsh, 0 points. Derek White, DNP, left ankle sprain, didn't play. Jaylen Brown, DNP, right ankle injury. So they did not play last night. And then you have the Orlando Magic, a team that has been on the come up for the last 2 years. Pretty much this year they have been, treading water for most of the season, but now they are at 500 with only two games left in the season. So they are in the play-in tournament bracket already. So no matter what, if they lose out or win out, they will still make it to the play-in tournament. The Orlando Magic, Pablo Banchero, 15 points. Franz Wagner, 23 points. Wendell Carter Jr., 8 points. Corey Joseph, 3 points. Contavious Caldwell Pope, 0 points. The Orlando Magic bench, Trey DeSalvia, 5 points. Goga Batiste, 6 points. Cole Anthony, 18 points. Gary Harris, 6 points. Trevelin Queen, 1 point. Caleb Houston, 5 points. Anthony Black, 6 points. Jet Howard, 0 points. Jonathan Isaac did not play, coach's decision. Now, the when we get to both teams, now both of these teams, there is a likelihood they could be playing each other in their first round matchup. So as you can see, Boston is second right now in the East and will be second going into the playoffs. And the Orlando Magic is currently right now seventh. Now, they are in the play-in tournament. The play-in tournament is going to start early next week. So it's a lot of things that still needs to be finalized as far as playoff matchups, but I am here for it. So when we look at the Boston Celtics, and saying it all season, I'm just ready for the playoffs right now. I'm just giving y'all a rendition of what I've been saying over the last 9, 10 weeks of the NBA regular season. So the statistics for this game: Celtics, 32 of 82 from the floor. Orlando Magic, 37 of 91 from the floor. 3-point shooting. Basically, that's how the Magic won this game last night, because they made 16 3-pointers. Celtics made 7 3-pointers. Free throws, 6 of 8 for the Orlando Magic, 5 of 6 for the Boston Celtics. Total rebounds, +6 for the Orlando Magic. 49-43. Offensive rebounds +3 for the Orlando Magic. Defensive rebounds +3 for the Orlando Magic. Assists +3 for the Orlando Magic. Steals, same amount, 5. Blocks +2 for the Boston Celtics. Total turnovers +6 for the Celtics. Now, this is what see when it comes to late in the season, and you know that you already have your playoff seeding locked up. Now in these last few games of the season, most of these teams are just going through the motions, and not trying to get any of their key players hurt, because it's very critical during this time for not to for the teams not to have a significant injury to their playoff chances. So, points off of turnovers, Celtics had 25, the Magic had 10. Fast break points +3 for the Celtics. Points in the paint +4 for the Orlando Magic. Fouls 11. Then fouls for the Magic 9. The largest lead of this game was 26 for the Magic, and the largest lead for this game for the Celtics was 3. So make no mistake about it, this is just the last few games of the regular season. This is not what the Celtics are going to put on in the playoffs. A lot of their guys are just resting up now, and I believe that a lot more teams are going to do that now, since they have clinched a playoff spot. The next game I am going to cover is the Miami Heat and Chicago Bulls, two teams that have been in the exact same boat. Both of them are 9-10 in the East right now. They are going to make the play-in tournament. Last night was very intriguing. Here's the starters for the Miami Heat. Andrew Wiggins, 14 points. Bam Adebayo, 18 points. Khalil Ware, 12 points. Tyler Hero, 30 points. Alec Burke, 7 points. The bench production: Duncan Robinson, 2 points. Haywood Highsmith, 5 points. Kyle Anderson, 6 points. Davion Mitchell, 17 points. And Kashad Johnson, Terry Rozier, Josh Christopher, Isaiah Stevens, Jamie Watkins Jr., and Pelly Larson all did not play because of coach's decision or injuries. So, the Chicago Bulls, another team that they are a below average team, and they are just fortunate enough, because the bottom half of the East is bad. They are fortunate enough to be in a play-in tournament spot. Now, Matej Zubelis, 17 points. Nikola Vucevic, 20 points. Kobe White, 18 points. Kevin Hunter, 22 points. And Josh Giddey, 28 points. Bench production: Zach Collins, 0 points. Patrick Williams, 4 points. Dallin Terry, 6 points. Julian Phillips, 2 points. Talen Horton Tucker, 2 points. Jalen Smith, E.J. Liddell, Emmanuel Miller, Javian Carter, Jameer Young, all did not play because of coach's decision. Now, when it comes to the Chicago Bulls, we know that they are a team that are just basically, a first round exit, because they don't have a cornerstone player where he can go find his own shot. It's just, for the Chicago Bulls, a collection of players that just, play their same averages throughout the season. And what I mean by that is some nights you do have an average player on the Chicago Bulls somehow go for 40 points or 50 points. But you're not going to get that on a regular basis. And most of these players don't even crack 25 points when it comes to them scoring on a nightly basis. So the Chicago Bulls, whoever they play first, and it seems like that they will be playing the Orlando Magic. Oh yeah, they will be playing the Orlando Magic in next week's play-in tournament game for the right to play the winner of Atlanta. For the right to play the winner of the Atlanta Hawks and Chicago Bulls. So that is how the Eastern Conference, Eastern Conference play-in tournament is going to play out, and that is how the Miami Heat are also going to play in the play-in tournament. They will be playing the Orlando Magic, and they will also be waiting the winner of Atlanta and Chicago. So play-in turn and reason when while I got everybody here, play-in tournament matchups 7 through 10 play each other, and 8 through 9 play each other. So everybody has clarification on what I'm talking about when I say play-in tournament matchups. So the next game I am going to cover is the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Phoenix Suns. Now, Oklahoma, we all know that Oklahoma, they really don't have no type of adversity in the regular season. That is why I am prepared, excited, and happy to see what type of adversity that the Oklahoma City Thunder will face in the playoffs, because it seems like this is just when it comes to their scores on the Thunder, this is like average every game. Chet Holmgren 22 points, Jalen Williams 33 points, Alex Caruso 29 points, Isaiah Joe 5 points, Aaron Wiggins 17 points. The bench production, Adam Flagler 2 points, Jalen Williams 12 points, Dylan Jones 2 points, Kenrick Williams 13 points, Brandon Carlson 0 points, Luguez Dort, DNP patellar tendonitis. Cason Wallace did not play because of the right shoulder. What can I say about the Thunder? Top-notch team in the NBA, best record in the NBA, and also they have one of the better bench productions in the NBA. It's just playoff failures, and that has been throughout their franchise history. Even when they were, the Seattle Supersonics, they've had playoff failures throughout. I'm not gonna bore y'all to death. I'm just giving you all a estimate as far as like an overview of what I seen last night. This is not a outlook show, a season outlook show, or a playoff outlook show. This is just something that I'm doing because last night a lot of things happened. Now, Phoenix Suns, the night before last, they were eliminated from playoff contention, and we all knew that was going to happen. So I'm not gonna dive into the Phoenix Suns much because they don't need to be talked about because they're not going to the playoffs. Ryan Dunn 13 points, Iso Algarito 3 points, Bradley Beal 25 points, Grayson Allen 4 points, Devin Booker 20 points. The bench production for the Phoenix Suns, Royce O'Neal 11 points, Jalen Bridges 0 points, Mason Plumlee, 5 points. Tyus Jones, 10 points. Damian Lee, 2 points. Colin Gillespie, 17 points. Ty Washington Jr., 2 points. Cody Martin, Bobo, Monte Morris did not play because of coach's decision. Now, the matchup for the OKC, the potential playoff matchup for the Oklahoma City Thunder could be either, and I do mean either, the play-in tournament for the play-in tournament matchups for the Washington Commanders. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm talking about football, but the play-in tournament for the Western Conference. Golden State would be playing the Dallas Mavericks, and the Minnesota Timberwolves would be playing the Sacramento Kings. Now, if the Golden State Warriors and Dallas Mavericks would be playing the winner of the Minnesota Timberwolves and Sacramento Kings, and the last two teams standing from the play-in tournament in the Western Conference would be playing either the Oklahoma City Thunder or the Houston Rockets. So, everybody's got clarification on the Western Conference play-in tournament bracket and the Eastern Conference play-in tournament bracket. So, as far as last night for the Oklahoma City Thunder, this was just a tune-up game for them. It's just something that I believe maybe that they do have home court advantage throughout the entirety of the playoffs, even going into the finals. But home court advantage, when it comes to good teams when they win on the road, a good road team don't need home court advantage because they can go into a hostile environment and get them at least 1 or 2 wins on the opposing team's home court. So, can the Thunder do that? We will see. But I would not be surprised if the Thunder, still have some hiccups from the last 2 years. So now, the next game I'm going to cover, and this is one that I was watching extensively last night, the Denver Nuggets and the Sacramento Kings. Now, we all know in the last 36 hours that the Denver Nuggets, they fired their previous head coach, Michael Malone, and promoted David Edelman as the coach for the rest of the season. So now, the Denver Nuggets came out a little sluggish last night versus the Sacramento Kings. Now, one thing I can say is that the spots 4 through 8 in the Western Conference are in a bind right now because 4 through 8, they are only separated by 1 loss in the win column. You have the Denver Nuggets at 32 losses, Clippers at 32 losses, the Grizzlies at 32 losses. Then you have the Warriors at 33 losses and the Minnesota Timberwolves at 33 losses. So the worst case scenario for the Denver Nuggets, they could be in the play-in tournament by the end of this week. And the best case scenario, they could stay right where they are at. So now, back to the game last night. Now, the game last night, it was a telltale sign of, how the Nuggets have been throughout the entirety of this season. Even when the Denver Nuggets, they have a lead, it seems like they're struggling. And you can see it when it comes to their starters. Aaron Gordon, 21 points. Michael Porter Jr., 21 points. Nikola Jokic, 20 points. Jalen Pickett, 18 points. Christian Braun, 5 points. And then the bench production, and as I've been saying for the entirety of this season, the bench production for the Denver Nuggets has been a level of trepidation that everybody has been looking at. When you have Peyton Washington scoring 7 points, DeAndre Jordan, 6 points, Russell Westbrook, 5 points, Julian Strother, 1 point. And then you have everybody else on the Denver Nuggets bench didn't play because of coach's decision. Now, one thing I can say is throughout the entirety of the season, I'm not worried about what Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are going to do. I'm more concerned about the supporting cast, the three other guys that are on the court, plus the bench production. Because from series to series, some games you are gonna have your bench carry the load for your top two players. Will the Denver Nuggets be able to do that? It all remains to be seen. And the Sacramento Kings, they are a team that will go to the playoffs by default because they are in the play-in tournament. And last night, their starters for the Sacramento Kings, Trey Lyles, 17 points. Domantas Sabonis, 13 points. DeMar DeRozan, 22 points. Zach LaVine, 27 points. Keon Ellis, 20 points. Doug McDermott, 9 points. Jonas Valanciunas, Sacramento Kings bench production. I'm at the bench production now. Doug McDermott, 9 points. Jonas Valanciunas, 2 points. Isaac Jones, 22 points. Devin Carter, 4 points. Jay Crowder, Markelle Fultz, and Terrence Davis did not play because of coach's decision. And you can see from the statistics, last night was a night for the Denver Nuggets to win this game. They shot 50% from the floor last night, all throughout their shots. 3-point shooting. The Kings made 16 3-pointers. The Nuggets made 13 3-pointers. Total rebounds, +5 for the Denver Nuggets. Offensive rebounds, +1 for the Denver Nuggets. Defensive rebounds, +4 for the Denver Nuggets. Assists, +5 for the Denver Nuggets. Steals, +5 for the Denver Nuggets. Blocks, even at 5. Total turnovers, 7 turnovers for the Denver Nuggets. 8 turnovers for the Sacramento Kings. Points off of turnovers, 12 points for the Denver Nuggets. Kings, points off of turnovers, 13. Fast break points, 21 fast break points for the Denver Nuggets. 16 fast break points for the Sacramento Kings. Points in the paint, 52 points in the paint for the Denver Nuggets. Sacramento Kings, 46 points. Fouls. Kings had more fouls. Largest lead of this game was 16 for the Denver Nuggets. And the largest lead for the Sacramento Kings were 2 points. So this would be now along the lines of this being a matchup, a playoff matchup, it's not going to happen because the Sacramento Kings, they would need a lot, and I do mean a lot of help, and they are not going very far in the playoffs anyway. And as far as record wise, they are just going to stay right where they are at because you only have the most is 3 games left in this season. The most is 3 games left, and play-in tournament they already have clinched a play-in tournament spot. And now for the Western Conference, 4 through 8, that is going to fluctuate within the next 48 to 72 hours. So now, the next game I'm going to cover is the Houston Rockets and the LA Clippers. Houston Rockets have exceeded everybody's expectations this season. Coming into this season, we didn't expect the Houston Rockets to be, at least record-wise, the second best team in the West. And you can see that they have a fine-tuned, well-oiled scoring machine when it comes to their lineup. Terry Eason, 17 points. Cam Whitmore, 14 points. Jock Landale, 11 points. Jalen Green, 5 points. Reed Shepherd, 20 points. Bench production for the Rockets: Jeff Green, 19 points. David Roddy, 0 points. Sheen Tate, 7 points. Nefeli Dante, 4 points. Jack McVay, 0 points. Aaron Holiday, 16 points. Nate Williams, 4 points. Now, and Steven Adams did not play because of coach's decision. LA Clippers. Now, one thing about the LA Clippers, I have said all season that they are just a well above average team with Kawhi Leonard at the helm. Kawhi Leonard, 22 points. Derrick Jones Jr., 8 points. Ivica Zubac, 20 points. James Harden, 35 points. Chris Dunn, 9 points. Nicholas Batum, bench production. Clippers bench production. Nicholas Batum, 15 points. Drew Eubanks, 4 points. Boban Bogdanovic, 16 points. Jordan Miller, 0 points. Kobe Brown, 5 points. Cam Christie, Trenton Flowers, and Patrick Baldwin Jr. Patrick Baldwin Jr. did not play. Cam Christie and Trenton Flowers did not play. Well, did play but had 0 points. Now, the standings for both teams: Houston Rockets clinched a playoff spot a few nights ago. Clippers, they are at the 5th spot in the West right now. They are they have the same exact record as the Denver Nuggets for that 4th spot. So they could be in the 4th spot by the time tonight and by the time I start the next show for tomorrow. But those are the Western Conference standings as they look right now. Now let me get to the Los Angeles Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks, and let me tell you, boy, I was happy that the Lakers won this game because that gave them a little bit of breathing room when you look at the standings. Now that the Lakers have clinched the playoff spot and now they cannot lose out on the 3rd spot in the West, should you start resting your players? If I was JJ Redick, I wouldn't rest any of my players because at the end of the day, you want to have more than enough wins to be able to hold that home court advantage. And right now, three three through six in the West only separates teams 3 through 6 in the West only separates them by 2 games in the win column. So the Lakers, they have to win at least one or two of their remaining 3 games to at least have comfortability when it comes to that 3rd spot in the East. But let me get back to last night's game. Luka, he had his return last night. So the Lakers, and I do mean I love the Lakers. I didn't feel like wearing my purple and gold because it's not playoff time. When the playoffs start, I will be wearing my Lakers jersey a lot on here. I will be. So Rui Hachimura, 15 points. LeBron James, 27 points. Jackson Hayes, 3 points. Luka Doncic put up a 40-piece, 45 points last night, and he could have went for 50 if JJ Redick hadn't pulled them out. And Austin Reeves, he had 11. Now, this was last night. This was the Luka Doncic show because the Dallas Mavericks, they pretty much gave up nothing to the Lakers. The Lakers pretty much gave up nothing in exchange to get Luka Doncic, and the Dallas Maverick fans are pretty much upset at Mavericks at the Mavericks GM because why would you throw away your future for just draft picks? And you don't know if those draft picks are going to pan out well. You just don't. Now, bench production for the Lakers. Dorian Finney-Smith, 5 points. Jared Vanderbilt, 2 points. Trey Jameson, the third, 0 points. Gabe Vincent, 2 points. Jordan Goodwin, 0 points. Bronny James, 0 points. Dalton Connect, 2 points. Markeith Morris, Alex Lynn, Shake Milton did not play because of coach's decision. Now let me shift on over to the Dallas Mavericks. Anthony Davis, 13 points. PJ Washington, 14 points. Najee Marshall, 23 points. Derek Lively II, 6 points. Klay Thompson, 6 points. Bench production for the Dallas Mavericks. Caleb Martin, 9 points. Dwight Powell, 0 points. Daniel Gafford, 10 points. Spencer Dinwiddie, 5 points. Max Christie, 11 points. Dante Exum did not play because of coach's decision. Jaden Hardy did not play because of right ankle sprain. Now, both of these teams, the Lakers and Mavericks, are going to make the playoffs no matter what, because Lakers are at the third spot. The Dallas Mavericks are in the play-in tournament, so they are in the playoff conversation. Now, so my final take for both of these teams, Los Angeles Lakers. One thing I can say about the Los Angeles Lakers is that they do need a big man to guard the middle and to guard the paint. Now, right now, they don't have the only center that they have on the roster is Alex Lynn, and I'm not sure I'm not sure if JJ Redick is gonna put him in the fold around playoff time, but to just have size out there for the Lakers and to have a pretty much a decent rim protector would give the Lakers a huge advantage. It would pay dividends. It would, because most of the time when teams play the Lakers, they know that they don't have a big man, so it's just a highway to the basket and nobody is going to, contend or contest those layups or shots. But like I say, you put Alex Lynn in the fold and you pretty much, shake up your playoff lineup, maybe once or twice throughout your playoff run, and you see what you got there. But like I said, the Lakers, they went from a team where with Darvin Ham, it was pretty much, the default play with Darvin Ham was, okay, we got AD and LeBron, just get a ball to them, to now that the players they have confidence in JJ Redick, have confidence in the coaching staff, and as far as the Dallas Mavericks, they have new management, and I'm not sure what intentions the Dallas Mavericks under their new management. I'm not sure what their future plans are, but it's not looking bright. I mean, we're looking at the Dallas Mavericks from in the next 2 or 3 years, they could be in the exact same boat, being at the bottom of the West and just having maybe 2 or 3 draft picks to fall back on. But that's all I see with the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Lakers. We are headed to the playoffs. And let me tell you who we might be playing the potential first round matchups for everybody in the East. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say all of the potential playoff matchups for the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, and then I'm going to end the show. So, play-in tournament bracket. I'm going to go back to the play-in tournament bracket. The Orlando Magic, Atlanta Hawks, Chicago Bulls, and Miami Heat are in the play-in tournament. 7 through 10 play in the play-in tournament. 7 plays 10, and 8 plays 9. the winner of 7 and 10 in the Eastern Conference, the winner of Orlando Magic and Miami, would be playing the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. The winner of the winner of the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls will be playing the Boston Celtics in the first round. And then play the team 3 and 6, New York Knicks would be playing the Detroit Pistons. The Indiana Pacers would be playing the Milwaukee Bucks, and that rounds out the Eastern Conference playoff matchups. Now, for the Western Conference, we got a little bit of a gray area here since teams 4 through 8, nothing has been finalized with them yet. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of hypotheticals when it comes to playoff matchups in the Western Conference right now. So the teams 7 through 10 in the West: Golden State Warriors, Minnesota Timberwolves, Sacramento Kings, and the Dallas Mavericks. 7 and 10, Golden State would play Dallas, and 8 and 9, Minnesota Timberwolves would play the Sacramento Kings. The winner of the 7-10 matchup would be playing the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round of the playoffs. The winner of the 8-9 matchup in the play-in tournament, Minnesota Timberwolves, Sacramento Kings, would be playing the Houston Rockets in the first round of the Western Conference. Now, the Lakers would play the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round, and currently the Denver Nuggets would be playing the LA Clippers in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. So now everybody has got a full understanding of what potential playoff matchup we will be seeing throughout the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. And let me tell you, this is what all NBA fans, spectators, journalists like myself, this is what we like to see. We like to see everything to the nitty gritty over the last 3-4 days of the NBA season, because there's not much movement between 4 and 8 in the Western Conference. And let me tell you, there's not much movement between, well, there's no more movement in the Eastern Conference. So this is why I say the Wild Wild West when it comes to the Western Conference in the NBA, because you never know who is going to come out of the West. We had OKC, top-notch team last year in the West, and they didn't even make it to the NBA Finals. The year before that, we had OKC, one of the top-notch teams in the West, didn't even make it to the finals. It was the Denver Nuggets that made it to the finals. So that's why I say anybody can come out of the West. And let me tell you, there's only 2 teams that can come out of the East: the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics. And with that, those are my takeaways from last night's NBA play, Wednesday night slate in the NBA. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell to get notified of all of my reaction videos, shows, and other content. We are also doing an expansion over here on YouTube and also on my other show, Key City Sports, on Instagram. So make sure you follow Key Time Sports on YouTube and Key City Sports on Instagram. And remember, everybody, one last thing: the key, which is me, is always on time.